I wanted to address some things too from the previous episode, man, in regards to our statements about Nas performing at the Grammys, because you and I were kind of on the same page in saying that we don't think that he should perform at the Grammys. And I'm reading the comments in the comment section of that video, and people are like, "Yo, y'all are tripping. People think Nas should perform." And people are basically saying, why should he sit out and, because of, what Kanye did and this and that. I think we're mixing up a whole bunch of stories and rhetoric. I think we need to be clear that the reason why the Grammys X'd Kanye's performance is because of an individual Instagram post that he posted about the actual host of the Grammys, Trevor Noah. He called him a moon, something that rhymes with moon. I don't want our channel to get flagged for it, but I think you guys know what it was. And the Grammys made their decision. And so I think that the notion is that hip hop artists are that expendable, Kanye in particular, right? And my only point, and I'm not bashing Nas for doing the show, because, obviously, like everybody pointed out, Nas has earned the right to be able to do whatever he wants to do. He's a grown man, a veteran artist, greatest MC of all time. He can do whatever he wants. And I don't feel different if he does it or he doesn't. My only point is the Grammys need him more than he needs the Grammys. And I think other people feel otherwise. I think that we still validate these institutions. Because for me personally, Grammys don't really mean much when it comes to hip hop. The Grammys have never earned that they mean something when it comes to hip hop.
You know,
I'm gonna
I
find
just
some of
took a
these
quick note.
comments. Go ahead.
No, there's two sides to this because I think there are people that understand, like, that the Grammys may need him. But I think for his fan base that's never gotten to see him get that critical acclaim and fanfare and get trotted around like the other greats maybe have, I think they want to see that for them because they've seen it happen with other artists and they want that
That's
for their
fair.
favorite artists. Right. And so I think that's what we're really hearing. We're hearing the people that have been waiting, like hardcore Nas fans that have been like waiting 20, 25 years for the Grammys to give him this type of due and this type of acclaim so they can see their favorite MC in that platform and in that way. So I think that has something to do with the response that we're getting, but the vitriol that we're receiving, is a little unbalanced in that regard because we're not saying, hey, don't do it. We're just saying, hey, you ain't got to. You're Nas. You made it this far and became the greatest MC of all time.
We got called fake revolutionaries.
Right.
I remember reading that comment. And that's why I'm wearing the fist today. I'm a fake revolutionary.
Oh, is that we got called a fake revolutionary?
Yeah, because we said that the Grammys don't mean much. Listen, at the end of the day, man, even
hey, whoever said that, pull up on me and talk that way.
see, Will Smith.
Find out. Yeah.
See, here's one of the comments. It says, Nas has said a few times that he doesn't care about the Grammys, but it's important to the people who've helped him with the album. See, now, that comment I understand. I get that.
Didn't you say that during the show? Didn't you say if this
it.
is like about Hit Boy and like about everything around Nas and like you're totally cool with that? Didn't you say that?
I did say that.
I'm just making sure that you said that and that, like, I'm like at my advancing age and my get off my lawn like behavior just wasn't like, early on Alzheimer's or something and missed that. So you said that.
I did say that. Kenyon Smith says, Nas has been doing the most powerful thing before any Grammy boycott. Answer, supporting and investing in Queensbridge and family. Keep up the good work. Yeah, of course. Listen, man, I feel what you're saying, and I think what you said is the most accurate thing. I think his fans want to see him get that public adoration, and I don't think it's for him specifically, but if he wants to give that to the fans in return, I'm with that too. But see, my only thing is, man, I don't understand why the Grammys are still important to us hip hop fans like that. What have the Grammys done for you to give them such high regard for hip hop culture? Like I remember when the Source was was hip hop's Bible, they earned that. They
Well,
earned
you want
that
to
through actually, you know what I'm saying, giving creditation to well-deserved hip-hop efforts and being right about it. And actually giving light to records that Rolling Stone and all the other publications at the time weren't giving light to.
No, and you want to know what? And when you say that in that regard, I immediately go to how I feel sometimes about people's instinctive and let the rhythm hit them and all for one, because I'm like, are those really 5 mic albums in relationship to what it became? And the answer is still yes, because like the classic material is there enough, but there was supposed to be an emphasis on emphasizing the greatness of our albums and our culture, because it's like, well, how did Rolling Stone rank people's instinctive and
We
let
don't
the rhythm
know.
hit them and all for one?
We don't know.
Right.
And
So
it
from
didn't
that
matter.
perspective,
And it didn't matter because we had the
right,
Source.
right. And you know, like No Omega came on my playlist today, Mike, and I was just like, yeah, you can find Mike this.
Crazy rapping. Shout out to Blue Collar Hustle with the $20 super chat. He says, we don't give Nas credit for his strategic genius. It's no coincidence that Nas wins a Grammy the very year that he goes independent, performs solo after going independent. Katie won, shot back to #1 after he won. Nas deserves it. I'm pretty sure it's strategic. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's strategic. But the
Didn't
thing
say
is, that what I don't understand though, it's like I don't think that the Grammy audience is checking for Nas like that. What is the Grammy audience? Even if we talk about the Oscars this past week, they had to pull a whole bunch of stunts, have Will Packard produce the joint, have 3 different hosts that represented all types of sides to get people interested in this award show again.
Like I said, this is about his fan base and him giving back to his fan base and him giving back to the whole team around him that's made this run with Hit Boy possible. No, I get all that. And I believe I said that too. I just don't love the way that it looks, given who he's been and the heights that he's ascended to without having to do any of this. That's all I said.
Because
And I
the
think that's all
thing
I
is,
said too.
yeah, you did. We said all these things. The thing is, and I think maybe we didn't explain this to, to everybody's satisfaction, at least for me. I don't think that the Grammys have earned the respect of hip hop culture for us to give them such validation on hip hop artists. They haven't
Right.
earned that. Look at the people who've won Album of the Year. They can't turn a corner and just change that. You have to earn that, and you have to earn that through time. And I don't think just picking Nas in a convenient time when you overlook Nas for all these years, like Coop said in the previous show when he was in his prime. It's time for you to start with somebody else to earn that. LP says Nas spoke against payola, against magazines, radio stations, commercialization of hip-hop, helped building the hip-hop museum. He's cashing out. And it's interesting you say that. I remember that interview that Nas did in 2002? He was on Power 105 when right after the whole Hot 97 thing where they wouldn't let him perform. And he was saying that we need to start our own hip-hop medias and all of that stuff. That was one of the things that drove me to start According to Hip Hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing that Nas was saying, I was like, he's right. Between that and when Jay said, when he was on Hot 97, he was talking about Jim Jones. He said, there should be a committee out there when they were asking him about Jim Jones throwing shots at him. He was like, there should be a committee out here that full of DJs or hip hop fan, whatever, that sanction these battles. They should be able to say, yo, Jim Jones and his resume has no, he doesn't warrant, and he's not qualified to go against somebody like Jay. Like you have no classic albums, you're in nobody's top 10, and I was like, yo, he's right. So those two mentalities, I've always thought about when, cultivating something like According to Hip Hop and getting straight to the people. And I agree with what Nas said then. And I'm pretty sure he still feels that way. And it doesn't go against any of that he performs at the Grammys. All I'm saying is what Jay Prince, regardless of what y'all think the agenda of that is, what he's proposing is a real big step in a direction like that. Regardless, I mean, it's raging against the machine.
What he say on Success? Best friends want to be enemies. Like, that's what's in. But I don't give a fuck. Walk inside the lion's den. Take everybody's chips. About to cash them in. Up your catalog, dog. Mine's worth too much. Success.
Yeah, I think he's gonna perform, but again, man, I mean, I get it. If it's for the fans and the fans want to see it, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike.
No, go ahead.
I want the core fan base to understand something too. Is that, well, part of what made his name bubble to the top in this pandemic time is the ceasing of the major label artists making projects and getting big promotional budgets. You see, Nas is one of those iconic and legendary names that the Grammys already knew because of how long he's been around and because of his star stature. And so it was easy to insert him into that climate because there's not as many stars coming out with albums during this pandemic.
You're right.
And definitely not coming to the quality of. So even Nas fans need to understand that part of the gravitas the Grammys is giving him is because the pandemic happened. Because had everybody been outside, I want everybody to understand this. Had everybody been outside, they might have overlooked King's Disease and King's Disease 2 like they normally do with Nas. And so you need to keep what's really going on literally in the world in perspective to that.
You know what? I agree with that. I think that is a very valid point. Shout out to the Truist with a super chat. He said, the Grammys, with M fans say M is the GOAT. Who cares? I think he meant something else. James Thomas says, I want to see Nas get his flowers. Now, as far as Will and Chris, it's simple. He embarrassed Jada, so Will embarrassed him. I think it's simple as that as well. But you know what? I mean, but this is the thing. Who are the Grammys to give Nas his flowers? That's my only point. And I'm not against Nas getting his flowers. Nas is doing incredible work. And, he got what was the cover of, was it Ebony or Essence magazine? They emailed me last year with the cover. I should know this. I think it was Ebony. But was it Essence? Okay. But yeah, he's getting his flowers from all kinds of places. But my thing is, does the Grammys supersede any of that? He's getting his flowers. Shout out to Kenneth Palmer. The homie Kenneth Palmer says, for years and years, we have watched Jay shine and win over Nas on the Grammys. I like to see Nas get that love for a change. So it's about that. So it's about Jay.
It's about no. See, that's what I mean in relationship to his contemporaries, which would be mostly Jay and Eminem too, in terms of like his prime when he was making his best materials, his best works. They've got Grammys to show and he doesn't. That's why I said if his fan base wants to see him carried around the way they got carried around, it's like, yeah, I'm fundamentally okay with that. But it's like, I'm also like kind of, fuck the Grammys because they got it wrong the first time, the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time, seventh time. Why do they matter to our culture? Because we've been institutionalized.
I think that's a good